chrome-wheeled, fuel-injected, and stepping out over the line. Now, 1959 technically predates the muscle car era, and we all know how Corvettes are technically not muscle cars, but we thought we'd share this stunning 1959 fuel-injected Corvette as part of a tribute to the significant American performance cars found in the Brothers collection. The Brothers collection is home to an armada of muscle Corvettes, and this one, well, it's kind of over the top. Sure, 1959 was far before the official muscle car era began, and it's America's sports car, but this Crown Sapphire Roadster is sporting the hottest performance goodies underneath its mesmerizing exterior. The Corvette was in its 6th year of production by 1959, and this Fuel-y V8 version is a world apart from the original Blue Flame 6 found in the 1953 model. The Rochester fuel injection first appeared in the 1957 car and was still intriguing in 1959. The 283 cubic inch V8 in our 59 features the famous Rochester ramjet mechanical fuel injection setup. And this thing really had people scratching their heads back in 59 because nobody could tell what it was. And it must have been a pretty hard upsell because it added almost $500 to an already expensive car. And for that reason, less than 10% of 59 Corvettes were fuel injected. This 283 is stuffed with regular production option code 579D, which added a high lift camshaft developing 290 horsepower and 290 foot-pounds of torque from the 9.5-to-1 compression pushrod fuel-injected V8. By 1959, the Corvette was just starting to make some progress, mixing it up with European cars on the global sports car racing scene, but even hand-built exotics didn't offer the technology and performance of the assembly line-built Corvette. Just 745 59s were fuel-injected. The operation of the ramjet fuel injection system is not super complex. I'll try to explain it. Basically, an engine creates vacuum when the pistons go down and the valves open, and that pulls air in through the throttle body on the driver's side, very much like a side draft carburetor. That vacuum is also transmitted through a tube to a fuel metering system on the other side of the intake. That fuel metering system has a lever that changes the amount of fuel coming through the high pressure pump on its way to 8 different nozzles in the ram tube air intakes under the manifold. So that fuel is then mixed with the incoming air, and the fuel ratio is varied between 12.5-to-1 under acceleration and 15-to-1 under part throttle cruising for better economy. So it's all the components of today's modern electronic fuel injection, just all mechanical. The performance upgrades don't end when you close the hood, as this car also features option package 684, which beefed up the suspension with aggressive rate springs and shock absorbers, an upgraded front sway bar, and a quicker ratio steering system. This car also has a wild set of fins inside the brake drums that pull air through the backing plates to keep the brakes cool to reduce fading. Only 142 or so 1959 Corvettes had this option, making this a very worthy member of a spot among the other rare Corvettes in the Brothers collection. The 4-speed manual gearbox kept the driver occupied, and the output spun a 370-to-1 rear gear and 15-by-5-inch wheels. This one is wearing attractive wide white wall tires and full hubcaps, but a half-inch wider wheel and a smaller cap were optional. Inside, Chevrolet designers made a few subtle improvements to make this car a little more comfortable to drive than the '58 model. The speedometer featured a concave lens to reduce glare, and the interior door handles were relocated away from the elbows. But a 59 Corvette is still a car you don't just drive, you kind of wear it like a suit. And what a great looking suit this one is. Corvettes have always looked futuristic, and the 59 no doubt stood out in the sea of giant tail-fin sleds of the day. It's a small car, only weighing around 3,000 pounds, and it featured the signature fiberglass body. The wraparound windshield looked spacey, and the long nose, short deck design has classic sports car proportions. The toothy grille is very 1950s GM in style, but the small chrome bumpers and the thin, bright trim are very light in appearance and are quite contrary to the giant push-bar bumpers of other 1959 models. The stylish side coves flow perfectly with the front wheel opening and the profile of the car, and the white insert provides an appealing contrast to the body color. And that color! Crown Sapphire was the second least produced Corvette color for 1959, but the acquiescent hue and metallic glimmer had the whole Muscle Car of the Week production team spellbound like gnats to a neon on old Route 66 while shooting this episode. It's just too cool. Back in 1959, just like today, part of the allure of a Corvette is its styling. And I can't think of any other better color combination than this Crown Sapphire with the white cove to show off the lines of this beautiful 59 Corvette. They made 888 of them in this color combination. Far fewer had the fuel injection option. And yeah, I know, it's not a muscle car, but we still think that you'd enjoy checking it out with us on this episode of Muscle Car of the Week. You can leave us feedback on Facebook or YouTube or on the website, and we'll see you next time on Muscle Car of the Week.